Ayo DJ D-Rec, bring the beat back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Zhariya Smith, and I typically make commentary videos just like this one. So if you guys happen to like that, or you just love my gorgeous face, make sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell to get notified every single time I post, which happens to be on Mondays and on Fridays. And quickly, I want to thank you guys for 1.5 thousand subscribers. Now, in my last video, I said that was my goal because I thought I wasn't going to get that for like another month, but it turned out it happened in like 3 days. So new goal is 1.6 thousand subscribers. Subscribe if you would like to. And before we start, I want to say the candle for the video today is French Country Vanilla. And yeah, so today's video is going to be about wilding out. And if you do not know what that is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing necessarily. So growing up, my father absolutely well, I was growing up, he was an adult. Point is, growing up, my dad loved wilding out. So did my mom as well. It was almost like a family affair. We would like sit down in the living room and we would watch wilding out episodes. So I've watched this show pretty much my whole life, aside from when they canceled the show but then brought it back. But point is, love wilding out, and I want to talk about the absurdity of this show because I feel like a lot of people don't even know the beginning of it. So you might be asking me, Zhariya, what is Wildin' Out? I've never heard of that TV show before. And well, Wildin' Out is an American sketch comedy improv game that integrates like rapping into the show, I guess, if that's not even a good way to describe it. Regardless, is hosted by, it was created and hosted by Nick Cannon, who is a self-proclaimed comedian, though I wouldn't really call him all that funny. We'll get into that later, but it debuted July 28th in 2005 on MTV. The point is that like it would be like the Red Squad and then the Black Squad, or the Platinum, I guess, when it got revived, and the Black Squad, 2 teams. So Nick Cannon typically was the leader of the Red Squad, whereas the celebrity guest would be on the Black Squad, and they would fight for the championship belt and it would go back and forth, whatever. Wildin' Out is such an interesting show because it's live, like I guess like any other show, but they hold the show like live. There's an audience, they film it in New York, I believe, and it is just such an absurd TV show. Now let's get into the celebrity guest. Now, it can either be a really good episode or a really bad episode depending on the celebrity guest. Personally, my favorite run of Wild 'N Out was when Pete Davidson was still on the show before he transferred over to SNL. Still hate that. Still think Pete Davidson would have been like the best rapper ever. Not really, but I think that the celebrity guest really made or broke the show. Specifically, I'll never forget when I logged on to, well, not logged on, but when I opened my TV to watch Wildin' Out and Tana Mojo was on the screen.
Britney Spears is dog food.
And are you ready?
Yeah, totally ready.
She's not ready. Justina, you ready?
Ready.
Tana Mojo was a celebrity guest one time, and she wasn't even like the main celebrity guest. She was just there, like, I guess, to promote her MTV show, but then didn't even talk. I have a whole issue with that. But, you know, we have some very interesting moments, like, for instance, when Azalea Banks was on Wildin' Out, that whole fiasco.
He couldn't get Cardi B, so he got Azalea ugly ass.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, can I just say that was very anti-black?
Oh.
Get him back.
I didn't think that was funny.
I'm a punishment.
Like, celebrity guests on Wild 'N Out are just, like I said, can either make or break the show. There are some obviously really hilarious moments, and I think that that's like what makes Wild 'N Out like so interesting, is this like having a celebrity guest, having a person come on and having to freestyle. And specifically, the section that I think will make or break the show is the wild style section where they just freestyle and they have to like roast each other, and then they get points based upon like how funny DJ D-Rec, the guy who controls the points or whatever, thinks it's funny enough, which poses for some very, very hilarious moments. Specifically, like it's just always really nice to watch, you know. But either way, while I don't know, has some amazing celebrity guests, has some amazing celebrity moments, I think that there is something to talk about specifically within the Black community. I know Black History Month just ended, but I still talk about this anyways. Basically, there is some sort of like I feel like the butt of the joke a lot of the times is Black women. Like, even when it comes to Black women being on the show, like playing in the game, and there's always like, oh, you look like a man, and like all this stuff. I think it's just like goes to show, like, because this is very obviously like a Black show, even though there are white people, Hispanic people, Asian people on the show. I think it's primarily has a Black audience, and they like to make fun of Black women a lot. I can show you guys some examples of making fun of Black women. Specifically, there was one, I think it was the game where they like they have different games like per episode. But there was one game where they had to like try not to laugh, I think it was, and they had to like hold in water. And I think it was Chico Bean, which interesting name. I could be wrong. But he's like, oh, like, Nick, do you think this girl is like all real? And then he like yanks off her wig.
Top notch, come here, baby. Come here real quick, please. Come here, look at this, Nick. I want you to keep the water in your mouth if you think everything about this is real. All right, go ahead. He just said, you see, Nick, this is my whole thing.
But like the sheer humiliation it is of like having your wig ripped off as a Black woman who wears wigs, obviously, that's like one of my biggest fears. That's why like I glue on my wigs so they will not come off, because I am just too scared of the one day that someone tries to yank off my wig. You know, in 2013, the whole like Yaga trend where they rip out like girls' hair. Why was that a thing? Also, with the whole wig getting ripped off thing, that happens a lot in this show, and I'm going to show you another clip of another person, which also, I think it was R.I.P. Michaels who did this. He ripped off a person, Candy's hair, and it wasn't even just that. He also made a transphobic comment about Candy. So I'm going to show you guys that, because it is...
1 minute you a bro, 1 minute you a sister. So not to disrespect you, I'm gonna call you my brister. I may not be ripped, but I'm definitely not soft. Talk to me like a man and take this wig off.
That's a video idea. But regardless, making fun of Black women is a really big part of Wild 'N Out. While I do think it is a very funny show, I think it's important to note, like, why is it that they're always making fun of Black women, or specifically like making fun of Nick Cannon and his relationship with Mariah Carey, and talking about Mariah Carey, and like, it's just a lot, you know. And obviously I can understand satire. I love satire. I think it's a very funny show, but I think there's always some truth behind jokes that you say, and the whole like, oh, this girl is all real and ripping off her hair specifically. Like, if I were her, I would not show back up to work the next day or like the next weekend. Like, that would have been done. Like, I would have never came back, because there is no way that I would be like humiliated when that show gets like millions of viewers. There's no way. Like, I would have to find another job and like be homeless or something before I had to deal with that garbage again. But now let's talk about the mistreatment of the Wild 'N Out girls and just general misogyny. If you don't know what misogyny is, I'll put a definition on the screen. I feel like at this point, you know, like, I just don't know why people hate women so much. But specifically with the Wild 'N Out girls, basically the outfits, I can post some stuff on the screen. You saw the video clip before. The Wild 'N Out girls typically wear more, I wouldn't even say like revealing clothing, because some of them literally just wear skinny jeans and a Wild 'N Out shirt that like they make them wear. It's kind of like to the same effect of like, a girl works at Hooters, so she wears a Hooters uniform. It's not necessarily like you wear what they put you in type of situation that they're at. But specifically, I think it's a lot to say about the show and about, you know, this thing, about how they mistreat the Wild 'N Out girls, because like, the sheer amount of like misogyny about humiliating the Wild 'N Out girls when literally like they're getting paid just like everybody else, just to sit there and look pretty. And honestly, I would love to sit somewhere and look pretty for an hour at a time, you know, just to, you know, vibe.
Example, the Wild 'N Out girls. Like, you give them an opportunity to be more than just objectified on Instagram and social media.
You get it. You
right.
get it.
So my question to you with that said, Mr. Cannon, is would you allow your daughter to be a Wild 'N Out girl?
Hell nah.
Oh, hell no. Ladies, come here, ladies. Well, with that being said, what is it that the Wild 'N Out girls do that you wouldn't want your daughter to do?
I'm pleading fifth.
You said that in front of all of the Wild 'N Out girls. You know, it's kind of the same effect of like, I don't want my daughter to be a stripper, and it's like, then don't go to strip clubs. I don't want my daughter to be an adult entertainment star, then don't go on adult entertainment websites, you know, type of effect. Like, if you don't want your child to be in that type of world, then maybe you shouldn't support the world. I think it's just interesting if you look at the show, if you watch, like, as much as I have, I'll obviously be putting in clips, but I think it's like crazy about the amount that Wild 'N Out girls get mistreated just for simply being there.
You know, I never wanted you to go through no divorce, but don't it feel good to not have to lie about smashing the Wild 'N Out girl?
It's a lot to unpack in that one. And next I'm going to talk about Wild 'N Out getting canceled and then getting brought back again, firing Nick Cannon and then hiring him back. Basically, Nick Cannon. So basically, in July 2020, Nick Cannon was fired from Viacom/CBS, which is the media conglomerate that is over MTV, VH1, all of those things. They fired him because in Nick Cannon's podcast, Cannon's Class, he basically said that the Jewish community held too much power in the entertainment industry and said a whole bunch of very, very, very anti-Semitic statements. It is just, like, I can post a clip, but honestly, I feel kind of bad because I obviously don't stand by any sort of hate towards any group. But Nick Cannon, like, I just don't know how, like, people can just get away with, like, saying, like, racist stuff, anti-Semitic stuff, and then, like, get unscathed. But he did get fired over this situation, and he ended up actually getting rehired, and they're now going to be doing a new production of Wild 'N Out with Nick Cannon as the host. Now, like I said in my video about cancel culture, I think cancel culture is very, very toxic in what it is right now. I do think we should hold people accountable for things that they're doing, because if power goes unchecked, it's really scary. So I think that by, you know, calling out creators, calling out celebrities and other people, politicians, for doing bad things, I think that's natural. I think that's what we should do, but we also should not give people death threats, tell people to unalive themselves. Like, I think it's like there's a certain line that comes with holding people accountable, and I think we should hold people accountable, not cancel someone. Nick Cannon, he apologized, I guess. Like, he said, I want to assure my Jewish friends, new and old, that this is only the beginning of my education. I'm committed to deeper connections, more profound learning, and strengthening the bond between two cultures today and every day going forward. So, final thoughts about Wild 'N Out are that it's such an absurd show, and the fact that it has run for 19 seasons? Yeah, so there's 15 seasons of Wild 'N Out, stemming from 2005 to 2020, I guess 2019. And I think that there has to be, like, some changes. I mean, obviously, like, adults understand satire, adults understand comedy. The big cancel culture when it comes to making jokes is mostly from, like, children that are still not fully, you know, developed and all that stuff. But I do think that we need to, like, take a step back and be like, hey, Wild 'N Out, you know, get it together. Now, am I ever going to be on that show? Probably not, especially after this video. I'm not a rapper. I'm borderline a comedian, but that's a stretch over what I am. But yeah, so if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it really does help small channels like mine. By the way, thank you guys so much. I just got 5,000 views on my review about Sia's movie music. And I had no idea it was going to do that well. I thought I was maybe going to get like 200 views. But no, it has over 5,000. I just got 1.5 thousand subscribers. And I'm just shocked. So thank you guys so much. So if you want to subscribe, please also subscribe down below. Like the video, like I said. Leave a comment down below on your opinions about Wild 'N Out and your opinions on if Nick Cannon should be allowed to be back the host of his show. So make sure to stay happy and stay healthy. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.